Hi,
Hey.
we're back. Welcome to your college schmutball preview.
Week 9.
Week 9, 2018. Last week.
Is that what year it is? I thought it was 2007.
It feels like 2007 sometimes. Appalachian State's raked again.
Yeah.
Yeah, could be 2007, 2008-ish.
Oh my god, we've gone back in time. Going back in time.
I remember. Once upon a time, not anyway. Anyway, last week was it was less excitement.
But the excitement that was there was off the charts. I mean,
yes.
I mean, we had...
Well, Thursday night was a disappointment because Manny was like, I don't want to win this game. Here's an interception.
That whole final drive was just a mess by ASU.
God.
They were like just burning so much clock unnecessarily.
Manny makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because when he first joined the ASU squad, I had high hopes. And I thought Team Herm was going to propel him to new heights. And he's just stagnated. He's like Montez in a down year.
Yeah, kind of.
Which I'm not sure. Is Montez having a down year or an up year? It honestly,
no, he's good. He's pretty good. I like him.
But they lost last week.
Yeah. True, but I don't think it was his fault necessarily.
Anyway, Stanford won.
Yeah, Stanford won in a game that was probably more exciting than it should have been, but still not that exciting.
Yeah.
We had Michigan.
Screamed MSU.
They just cruised. Like they was never in doubt. Even though I think it was scoreless almost to halftime.
Yeah, I didn't really see that one coming. Harbaugh usually struggles in that game.
Well, they've actually got a quarterback now.
True.
Like a decent, actually legitimate quarterback. So
not a rented one either. He's full time.
Well, he's rented.
Employed.
He is rented.
Okay, he's rented. We had that Oklahoma TCU game was close early, and then Oklahoma cruised away in the second half.
Okay, but the game of the week last week.
Yeah, Washington beat Colorado because Montez didn't have a great game.
Yeah, and then we had LSU
Mississippi State
walking pretty easily past Mississippi State. Although Mississippi State is solid.
Yeah, I mean, I watched that game. I came back here and watched part of it with my dad, and Mississippi State's defense is phenomenal.
Yeah, they just don't have the
Mississippi
the
State's defense is blurry.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, it's not blurry. Their defense was phenomenal. Their offense, meh.
Washington State ended any title hopes Oregon might have had.
The North is still open for business. So is the South.
Wazoo came to play though. I love that. Usually, sometimes they in big games they'll choke.
Yep,
and not
We've
show
seen
up.
it many times
before. This time they were ready.
Yep.
And then the game of the day, or at least
the
upset of the day, Urban and the Myers.
The third largest winning margin by an unranked team over a top 2 team happened last Saturday, 2018, in the name of a man named Trent. What's his name again? Tyler Trent.
Tyler Trent.
Who, God, Tyler, hang in there, man. I hope you make it through. They went out there and they kicked Ohio State's fucking ass.
Boy, did they.
Good
it was
God.
I didn't see the game. I was what was I doing? I was doing something.
I watched it at
I was at the Arctic Monkeys show.
Oh yeah. You're right.
So I didn't see the game.
Yeah.
But when I checked the score afterwards, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
This has to be a typo.
Oh yeah.
My God.
I flipped that on at my girlfriend's house and I watched a small Purdue running back get a pitch play ball and then shovel an Ohio State safety over himself and then break free from 3 other guys and then take it for a touchdown. And I was like, what kind of sorcery is this?
I mean, that's just an inspired team.
It was incredible.
And that loss could not happen to a more deserving coach and university and program.
Absolutely. It was wonderful to hear Urban Meyer say afterwards that his team, what did he say? He said something like, we're not, I don't have all the pieces, He basically admitted that he does not have a team that he could take to the playoff this year.
Well, yeah, now we can say that. That's bullshit.
I mean, we've known it all season, but to hear him say it was
I don't
funny.
know that I knew that.
Well,
And I'm
okay,
not even
yeah.
sure. I'm not even sure it's true. But that's basically him throwing a team under the bus.
Yeah, I won't
After
Trump.
they finally lost.
I won't trump myself up. I'll say, I speculated that
Okay,
they weren't that
fair.
good.
But that still just sounds like him being a fucking blowhard.
He's 2 steps above Franklin in terms of integrity, and those aren't big steps. Those are little bitty steps above him. But yeah, that game was phenomenal. I watched Purdue put like 20 points on them in just the 4th quarter.
That was beautiful, man.
It was incredible.
I wish I could have seen it, but that's beautiful.
You can still catch the highlights.
Absolutely.
What else we have?
That reminds me a lot. That was pretty much it for last week.
Oh, okay.
That reminds me a lot of when Iowa beat them down last year.
Yeah.
Was it last year?
Yeah, it was last year. Don reminded me as he was walking by yesterday. Or the day before. I don't know. Because he's from Iowa, so he always remembers the big Iowa wins. Anyway, the time is 6:15. And we are taking you into week 9 with prayer and drum circles.
And spirituality.
And
divinity. And
prayer rugs.
And hot oil massages.
Bells, whistles. And we kick off your Saturday at 9 a.m. with Texas Tech at Iowa State.
Yeah.
It's an interesting little matchup here.
Yeah, this is a good way to start off the Saturday.
Yeah, we've got 2 Big 12 teams, but they could not be any more different.
Correct. Yeah, they really kind of split up the gamut there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Eamon's opening up the stat line right now. I'm really curious. They won't show you team stats, will they?
No, not that I can find.
But tell me one thing. How many yards has Iowa State's starting quarterback thrown for?
I'm guessing that's Z Noland. Noland has thrown for 722 yards. And then they've got a backup quarterback who's also thrown for 572 yards.
Okay, but how many has the Texas Tech starting quarterback thrown for?
2,088. Yeah.
Like we were saying, these teams could be more different. I mean, that is a normal year for Texas Tech. And that's a normal year for Iowa State, I would think.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think Iowa State is a defensive team first and foremost.
Yep.
But I like this one, man. And any game in Ames, Iowa, it just kind of feels like it's gonna be a gritty, like, upset special kind of game.
I mean, neither of them are ranked, but I think it would be a big deal if they beat Texas Tech.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, here we go. We got some numbers here.
Oh yeah, there's some league rankings. Points per game. T-Tech is 11.
Iowa State is 192nd.
But what about...
but points against Iowa State is 94th. So closer to the middle of the pack.
Yeah.
I
mean, I
don't see any defensive numbers, but
it's CFBY.
And dude, low of 42 degrees and a 30% chance of precipitation. Let's go!
Give it to me. I want that sleet.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, we spent a lot of time on this one. I'm going to give it 4.
I'll give it 4 as well.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. We're moving on to 12:30 p.m. So you get to watch most of that first game. You get number 18 Iowa at number 17 Penn State. Iowa's good at beating Big Ten hopefuls.
They are. And although Penn State's pretty much, I don't know if they're 100% out of it, but they've had a couple of bad losses.
Yeah.
And
Iowa's going to be going into Happy Valley, which is not quite as intimidating as Death Valley.
No, and not even as happy as it used to be.
Yeah, not even as happy as it used to be. It's Sad Valley.
Although this game has rain and snow as well, so
looking forward to
Sloppy Valley.
Sloppy Valley. We're going to see a lot of Saquon Barkley's successor, I would think.
Yeah, that would be Sanders
and whoever the big 6'7", 350-pound farmer running back that Iowa's putting in the game.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see Trace McSorley trying to hold on to his last grasp for a Heisman candidacy, although I don't see that happening.
No, it ain't happening. You might get an invite if he's lucky.
But yeah, a couple of hard-nosed Big Ten teams in the snow. How can you say no?
How can you say no? So we've got some good ones. Iowa, then Pennsylvania, in terms of location. Yeah. I'm going to give this one... I'm going to give it another 4. I have high hopes.
That sounds
for
about
Iowa.
right. I'm going to agree with you again. Another 4.
I want to think that Iowa's going to be in this one for the whole thing. And I don't think Franklin's a good enough coach to rescue them from the edge.
I agree. He's sort of a blowhard.
Yeah, they're right now. Penn State's feeling real down. Then also at 12:30, we have a lot of games at 12:30, and by a lot I mean 3. But we have Florida at Georgia. Number 9
baby.
Florida at number 7 Georgia. There's a band that was named after this matchup. I almost said rivalry. It's not a rivalry. But it is a matchup, and there's a band named after it. And
True.
They're called Florida Georgia Line.
Yep, and the Florida Georgia line for this game is Georgia -7.
Yeah.
In case you're interested, this is also commonly known as the world's largest outdoor cocktail party.
Which is really cool to me because I didn't know that. And I would really like to travel there at some point.
That sounds like a blast.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This is a game that happens every year.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes,
I'll be there. I'll see you in Gainesville and or Atlanta.
Hell yeah.
So the reason we're covering this game is for one reason and one reason alone. There's a team called Florida that are in this game, and they beat a team called LSU. Now there's a team called LSU, and they beat a team called Georgia. Florida is now playing a team called Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Do you follow me?
It's a lot, but I'm trying to process it.
Yeah. Anyway.
I honestly don't feel that confident in Florida.
Neither do I.
Why would you?
They're going on the road.
Other than the fact that Georgia had that really bad loss to LSU.
Yeah.
But Georgia's also coming off a bye, so they've had like an extra week to prepare for this game.
Yeah, true.
Feels like Georgia's gonna roll in it. But it should be fun.
Yeah.
I kind of like watching Florida lose. I don't know, I have no real reason to hate them. But...
I was down with them beating LSU just because I like to watch the SEC beat up on each other.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna make for some great I forgot his name.
Well,
Spencer Hall. It's gonna make for some great Spencer Hall tweets.
Let me say this. I would like Georgia to win because if they remain a one-loss team, they stand in the way of Ohio State clawing their way back in.
That is very true.
Yeah. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 just because there's that high-ish medium probability of Georgia rolling.
I'm still going to give it a 4. Don't ask me why. Don't ask me why, John.
You madman.
Don't do it.
Okay, I won't ask. We cruise on to the same time, 12:30. University of South Florida, number 21, is going to Houston. Now, this is their only hurdle before?
Pretty much, yeah.
Do they play any other hard games before they face UCF?
South Florida?
Yeah.
Let's
see that schedule, baby.
It's a loading, buddy. I think this is their only real test.
I think it is too. So
not coming up.
I would really like them to win this game because I want them to be undefeated when they face UCF. Because I feel like UCF's also going to be undefeated when they face USF.
Yeah, so after they play Houston, they play Tulane, Cincinnati, and Temple, and then UCF. So pretty much this is the big one.
They play Cincinnati, which UCF also plays Cincinnati.
Correct. I mean, USF has had some real close ones of late. I mean, they only eked out a game against Tulsa, and then an 8-point win over UConn. So they've been playing some tight ones.
It's similar to UCF. UCF is not as good as they were last year. Sure. USF is not
hard
as good
to
as they were
expect them to
year.
be.
Yeah. So we're in for a treat at the end of the season when they play each other. But first, Houston
has the third most points per game in the country. So this could be a shootout, and I'm here for it.
I'm down with it. I am down with it as well. I'm going to give this one a 4.
I'm going to give it a 4.5.
Woo!
Yeah.
I like it. We cruise to 3:30.
Yes.
3:30. We got Cal at Washington.
Hosting Washington.
Sorry, Washington at Cal. Washington's rank is
17. 15.
15. Number 15, Washington.
Inexplicably.
At University of California, Berkeley. We just got out of my house and my dad feels really strongly that Cal's going to win this game.
Yeah, he practically guaranteed it.
Yeah, he did practically guarantee
Joe
it.
Namath.
It's not often that he does that. I have said that his Stanford predictions are often correct, but his Cal predictions are not always correct.
This Washington team, yeah, they beat Colorado at home by 2 touchdowns, but I just really have not been all that impressed by them this year.
Neither have I. And I think...
for a team that was in the playoff 2 years ago?
Yeah. I'm latching on to one thing he said. I think if Cal runs the 2 quarterbacks, they're going to confuse the shit out of them.
I think that's right. They'll have them on their toes anyways.
Because they haven't faced a dual quarterback team all season. Who does?
And I think after last week, Wilcox and Cal will have come to that realization. Hopefully, anyways.
I hope so. Even if you start Garbers, we're probably still going to be in it.
True. Garbers, I just saw a stat today that he is like the 3rd or 4th best completion percentage on long throws downfield in the country.
Oh, wow.
It's crazy. Like Tua from Alabama's number 1 by like a long shot, but Garbers is in the top 5.
Well, when you play mom and pop's university, you end up at pretty good rank.
Anyways.
And Bethune-Cookman. How could we? I'm sorry. Moving on. So 3.5 for this one for me. 4. I live in fear of Cal losing.
Yeah, I'm not as confident as your dad, but I'm hopeful.
I'm hopeful as well.
Hopefully they've bottomed out after last week.
Yeah.
Or 2 weeks ago, rather.
But 30 minutes after this game starts, we move to a sure thing, and that is number 14 Washington going to number 14 Wazoo going to number 24 Stanford and kicking their ass.
I'm pretty confident in that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm pretty confident in that too.
Like after seeing what Wazoo did to Oregon last week, yeah.
So here's something that happens.
Stanford's gonna have a whopping 20,000 fans on hand.
Yeah. So Mike Leach gets a defense every lunar eclipse year.
Right.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't think this is a lunar eclipse year, but it's an expression that I just made up. And he has a defense this year.
He does.
And when he has a defense, it's a problem.
Yeah.
So goodbye, Stanford. Farewell. It's been nice having you in the AP rank.
Interestingly, Stanford's still favored by 3 in this game,
which is laughable. I'm just kidding. It's probably fair, but I still think Wazoo is going to win.
Yeah, I like this. I like a. I don't know. I could see Washington State surprising some people and climbing into some playoff questions.
I can see them maybe competing for the Pac-12 championship. That would be crazy.
Certainly. They've only got 1 loss.
Yeah.
They're
leading the North at this point.
They're leading
right?
the North. Yeah.
Going to be really interesting.
The Apple Cup. The Apple Cup at the end of the year is going to be very important.
That's going to be awesome this year.
Yeah.
Really looking forward to it. So I'm going to give this one
We're going to 3.5.
I'm going to give it a 3.5 because I think Wazoo might just roll on them, and it's going to be as boring. It's going to be as boring as that Oregon game.
You can only hope.
Oh yeah. And then cruising down to our other 4:00 game. This is unfortunately the last watchable game of the day. Unless you really like Hawaii getting their asses handed to them by Fresno State. Number 16, Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Mississippi State should really have a rank just because their defense is so good. I know they have more league losses.
Sure.
They're
4-3. Trying to see who they've lost against. But yeah, I think they're a tough team, man.
They definitely. I watched them last week, and other than Bama, they have the best defense in the SEC. And Jimbo doesn't like defense. Jimbo hates defense.
No, he's strictly anti-defense.
Yeah, I mean, not on his team. Obviously, he generally has an okay.
Sure,
defense.
but he's like, why can't y'all just not even play defense against this?
He hates playing against good defenses. It's not his thing. So, we've seen it. We saw it happen to him in the Rose Bowl, FSU versus Oregon. Famously terrible game.
If you're a fan of seeing Jimbo Fisher frustrated and disappointed,
turn on this
probably
game.
A good game to watch.
Yeah, turn this game on. You want to watch Jimbo yell at his players, or not? He didn't really yell. He just
grabbed the face mask.
He just side eyes at him.
Well, he grabbed the kid's face mask a couple weeks ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was like, come on, dude.
That's kind of new for him.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah. I mean, Jimbo, you're a bad coach, but are you that bad?
So Mississippi State, we talked about they lost to LSU. They played good defense, though.
Yeah.
They lost to Florida back in September.
Mm-hmm.
It was a very low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Their real killer was losing 28-7 to Kentucky early in the season.
Yeah.
That doesn't look great on the resume.
It does not look good.
But that was a while ago.
Yeah.
They've evolved since then.
Lately, they've played exceptionally well.
And they're going to... I believe they were on the road for every one of those losses. I think. Except for Florida. But, this should be a good one. John's breaking plastic in his mouth.
Don't mind me. There's a bottle cap. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know, man.
I'm going to give it 3.5.
Yeah.
Just because I'm probably not going to watch it. I can't recommend a game that highly that I'm probably not going to watch anyways.
All right, I'll give it 3.5. Because I just don't know anymore.
Yeah, it's hard to predict things.
The SEC is weird. Nah, I'm sorry, that's a general statement. We got to be more analytical than that. The SEC's fine and dandy and filled with cherry plums and sugar pops.
As the SEC, the hot lady in the SEC commercial says, it's just different out here.
Oh yeah,
and it is just different out there.
I'd marry her to have a very different life than the one I lead now.
I would too. I could get down with some swamp living.
Yeah, so I'll give it 3.5. A&M at Mississippi State. And I'm John.
And I'm Swamping.
Swamping.
Yeah.
Swayman. Swamping.
Go Tigers.
Go Tigers.
I'm Ed Orgeron.
Yeah, Swamp Ed Orgeron will be making appearances in the rest of the videos. Farewell.